Update 1 on Tropical Storm Merbok, which has formed in the South China Sea to the west of the Philippines and heading towards China itself and the Hong Kong area potentially as well. Winds of 40 miles an hour and a pressure of 1001 millibars at 3 p.m. UTC on June the 11th, 18.4 north, 116.4 degrees east, and Signal 1 standby warnings have been raised in Hong Kong and in Macau. Over the next few days, we expect that this system will intensify not very much. Earlier model runs were saying that it could possibly have been a typhoon landfall within 50 miles of Hong Kong, but it now appears as though it's going to be little more than a weak tropical storm, but of course we'll remain vigilant if it does grow any stronger. And then skirting through the China area and then skimming the northern coast of Taiwan and then out to sea towards Japan as a weak depression if it's anything by then. Right now it's 274 miles west-northwest of Vigan in the Philippines, 303 miles south-southeast of Hong Kong, and 343 miles south of Shantou. Signal 1 warnings in effect, as I said over there. It's a stage 2 on the CDPS scale, a newly formed system which could be locally damaging near the centre. Over the next few days we expect the wind field to increase a little bit up until landfall, but the wind field throughout its life really is going to be pretty small, and if it does move inland more than say a few dozen miles, it's going to weaken to a depression, and then it will move off towards the east, skirting Taipei, and then out towards the Japanese Ryukyu Islands. Could be a outside chance of regaining tropical storm intensity out there, but we're not expecting it. Here's the sea surface temperatures, pretty warm all the way up until its landfall, around 28 to 30 degrees Celsius right now. That's not really the issue, but it appears that wind shear might end up being the ultimate problem. Look at that, it's increasing ahead of the storm, and it's particularly high over the Philippines there, you can see, and could extend to wrap around the storm over the next 24 to 48 hours, so it looks like it's not going to have a great time with wind shear. Here's actually how it looks then on the latest imagery from the Himawari 8 satellite NOAA floaters. You can see quite clearly its rotation, whether it's got tropical storm force winds or not. The JTWC doesn't think so. The JMA, the officials in Japan, do believe so, and we're running with it and named it earlier today. And as you can see, the infrared not quite as impressive as the visible imagery there as it slowly progresses towards the northwest. Almost an exposed centre, isn't it, with a little bit of convection there near the very small centre of Merbok, and it looks as though the wind field will remain rather small. Elsewhere in the tropics, we've got this Invest 92E, which now has, I believe, a 70% chance of formation in the next 5 days, according to the National Hurricane Center, moderate to high, slowly moving towards the northwest. Models seem to have it as a weak tropical storm, and that's all it manages to do before making landfall in Mexico. Now, there is a chance that it may not make landfall in Mexico, might skim the coast and continue towards a west-northwesterly direction. We'll be watching that, but we don't expect anything more than another third in a row weak tropical storm in the eastern Pacific. There it goes. Let's take a look at the numbers then for 2017 so far. This is now our number 16 in terms of tropical storms alone. Add on top of that 3 Category 1s, 1 Category 2, 2 Category 3s, 1 Category 4 and 1 Category 5, along with the 2 depressions. Compared to the averages from 1960 to 2016 at the top of your screen there, there's still a long way to go yet. And our total number of storms now is up to 24, not too far away from those very old seasons. 1900 is the next one to catch, the first one to catch with 31. Obviously observations weren't so good back then, so it shouldn't be too difficult in the quietest start to a year since 1954. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.co.uk, at your service at any time with its tracker. You can also find us on YouTube, search Force 13 if you're not there already, subscribe if you haven't. You can also find us on Facebook and on Twitter, search Force 13 all in text to find us on there. You can also add Fool13 on Skype, that's FOOL13, and add extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.